Then she took my veil and tore it to pieces. She threw the pieces down on the floor and went over to look out of the window. Then she turned and started to come towards my bed. I was so frightened that I was unable to move. I couldn't even scream for help. She's going to kill me, I thought. But then the light disappeared and the room was dark once more. I woke up in the morning. The sun was shining in through the window, and at once I remembered the strange woman. I thought at first that I had had a bad dream. Then I saw my ruined veil lying on the floor, torn to pieces. It was true. The strange woman was real. Mr. Rochester looked very worried and was silent for a long time when I told him about the woman. But he just said,
"You had a bad dream, Jane. It was probably Grace Poole who tore your veil, but you dreamt that it was a stranger."
I could not believe that the strange woman had been just a dream, but I said nothing. That night, the night before the wedding, I slept in Adele's room. The next day we went to the church for the wedding. In the church, while the clergyman was speaking, someone threw open the church door and said,
"Stop the wedding! It cannot go on! Mr. Rochester already has a wife. He is married to my sister."
Hi everybody, this video is about sentence pattern with Jane Eyre. We have selected 6 sentences for us to study a little more deeper, and your target is to find out what sentence patterns are they, and if there is any clauses, tell me which clause is it. Let's start it. Let's take a look at number 1. I was so frightened that I was unable to move. So, the sentence started with I and was. So, what color is the word frightened? It is a yellow, and it's about the yellow because it's telling you more about I, the subject. It's a subject complement. Then how about that I was unable to move? Which clauses is it? Very good. Because the sentence telling you more about frightened, only the green can tell you more about a yellow. So, it's an adverb. It's an adverbial clause. Next question, which sentence pattern is it? Very good. It's a pattern number 2 because of the linking verb was and because that is a subject complement, so frightened. Okay, then we move on to question number 2. Then I saw my ruined veil lying on the floor, tore to pieces. The sentence starting with I saw. So what? My ruined will. And how about the face lying on the floor? Which face is it? Very good. Because lying on the floor is telling you more about the whale. So, it's a yellow. It's a participial phrase because it's starting with lying on the floor. Alright, then how about the other part, tore to pieces? Which phrase is it? Very good. It's another participial phrase because it also tells more about the whale. Another question is, why there is a comma before these participial phrases? Then we have to talk about restrictive phrase. Restrictive phrase and restrictive relative clause are essential information about a noun. When the clause and the phrase is an essential information about a noun. So what do? We should not place a comma in front of a restrictive relative clause or a restrictive participial phrase. Then how about non-restrictive? Non-restrictive relative clause or non-restrictive participial phrase, what do? They provide extra information about a noun. So, when these participial phrase provides extra information about a noun, you should place what? You should place a comma in front of them. So, you can see lying on the floor, tore to pieces. Actually, they provide more information about whale. So that's why we have to put a comma. And also, lying on the floor is starting with ing. Why? Because it is an active voice. Then how about these? Why it started with past participle? Because it is a passive voice. Which sentence pattern is it? I saw my ruined whale. Blue, red, and blue. Very good. It's a pattern number 3. Then we move on. Question number 3. Mr. Rochester was silent for a long time when I told him about the woman. The sentence starting with Mr. Rochester was what? Was silent. And silent tells you more about Mr. Rochester, so it's a border yellow. How about for a long time? For a long time, telling you more about silent. So that's why it's a green. Only an adverb can tell you more about a yellow. When I told him about the woman, it's a clause. Which clause is it? Very good. This is an adverbial clause because it also tells more about the adjective silent. So, Mr. Rochester was silent. Which sentence pattern is it? Bingo! It's another pattern number 2 because there is a linking verb was and also the word silent is a subject complement telling you more about the subject Mr. Rochester. Very nice, then we move on to question number 4. It was probably Grace Pugh who tore your veil. The sentence starting with it was what? Grace Pugh. Grace Pugh refers to it. It referred to Grace Pugh. So, it's a border blue. And how about who tore your veil? It's a clause. Which clause is it? Very good. It's a relative clause telling you more about Grace Pugh. And how about the word probably? It is a green because it's telling you the chance of the relative clause. Who tore your veil? Now, it was probably Grace Pugh who tore your veil. Which sentence pattern is it? Very good is another pattern number 2 because Grace Pugh is a subject complement and we have a linking verb was. So it was probably Grace Pugh who tore your veil is a pattern number 2. Well done, let's move on to question number 5. I could not believe that the strange woman had been just a dream. So the sentence starting with I could not believe. So, how about that the strange woman had been just a dream? It's a clause. Which clause is it? Very good. It's a noun clause because it is something you could not believe. It is something, and this whole sentence is that something. That the strange woman had been just a dream. So it's a noun. It's a complete sentence, so it's a noun clause. With a blue, red, and blue. Which sentence pattern is it? Very good. It's another pattern number 3. Let's move on to question number 6. In the church, while the clergyman was speaking, someone threw open the church door. So, which one is the core sentence? The core sentence is starting with someone. Then what is the red color? Someone threw or someone opened? Which one is it? Is threw open. Why? When you check the dictionary, you will find that the meaning of threw open means to open something that was closed, usually suddenly and completely. So actually it forms a word. But when you apply a tense, usually we will apply the tense to the word threw. So someone threw open. Threw open what? The church door. So how about in the church? In the church is a green telling you where someone threw open the church door. Then how about while the clergyman was speaking? This is a clause. Which clause is it? Very good. It's another adverbial clause because it is an adverb telling you what time someone threw open the church door. And now, which sentence pattern is it? Bingo. With a blue, red, and blue. It's a pattern number 3. That's all for today. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Chapter 1. Tom and the Fence.
Tom? Tom?
There was no answer.
Where is that boy? Tom?
Aunt Polly looked under the bed, but she only found the cat.
Tom?
She cried. Then she heard a noise behind her. A small boy ran past, and she stopped him with her hand.
What are you doing, Tom?
She asked.
Nothing.
Nothing. Look at your hand and your mouth. I told you not to eat the jam.
Oh, Aunt Polly, look behind you.
Hi, this video is about sentence pattern with Tom Sawyer. And we have selected 6 different sentences for your understanding. Let's start it. Number 1. There was no answer. So, tell me, where is the first blue? Very good. The word there is a blue, and it's a pronoun. How about the second blue? Very good. The second blue is no answer. Because no answer is the same as there, and there is the same as no answer. So, we use border blue to represent a blue that is same as the subject. They are the same. Now, where is the red color? Very good. The word was is the red color. With the linking verb was and a border blue, so which sentence pattern is it? Very good. It's a pattern number 2. Now, let's move on to number 2. And Polly, look under the bed. Where is the first blue? Very good. And Polly is the first blue. How about the red? Very good. The word looked is the red color. Then how about under the bed? When a preposition is working together with a blue, you can see the verb the bed actually is a blue when a preposition under working with the blue. It could be either a yellow or a green. And this time, under the bed, telling you more about where and Polly looked. So, it is a green. A green is an adverb. An adverb telling you more about a red color. And this adverb is a prepositional phrase. And with a blue and a red, and we don't count green color. Which sentence pattern is it? Very good. It's a pattern number 1. Then we move on to sentence number 3. She only found the cat. What is the first blue? Very good. The word she. How about the other blue? Well done. The cat is the other blue. Then how about the red one? Very nice. The red one is the word found. How about only? Because only telling you the frequency of the red. That means tell you more about the red. It must be a green. It is an adverb. With a blue, red, and blue, we don't count the green color. Which sentence pattern is it? Very good. It's another pattern number 3. Then we move on to question number 4. Then she heard a noise behind her. So the blue one must be she. How about the other blue? Very good. A noise is another blue. Then how about the red color? The red color is heard. How about behind her? Take a look. Behind is a preposition. Her is a noun. It's a blue and a preposition. They form together as a prepositional phrase. But this time, prepositional phrase behind her is telling you more about the noise. So, what color is it? To tell more about the blue, it must be an adjective, yellow. So, with the blue, red, and blue, now this time because the word behind her is not an essential part, we can drop it. She heard a noise has the same meaning of she heard a noise behind her. So, we just count blue, red, and blue. What sentence pattern is it? Very good. It's a pattern number 3. Then we move on to question number 5. She stopped him with her hand. The first blue is she. How about the other blue? Very good. The word him is another blue. How about the red one? Stopped. She stopped him. How? With her hand. The word with is a preposition. Her hand is a blue. Prepositions with a blue. It is a prepositional phrase. But this time, with her hand telling you how she stopped him. Telling you more about the red. What color is it? Very nice. It's a green. It must be an adverb. Because only a green can tell you more about the red one. But again, green color doesn't count in sentence pattern. So blue, red, blue. What sentence pattern is it? Very good. It's a pattern number 3. Well done. Now we move to the last question. I told you not to eat the jam. The sentence starting with I what? I told. I told you, or I told not to eat the jam. Obviously, is told not to eat the jam. Because not to eat the jam is something you told. So, it is a blue. And now, who will get this message not to eat the jam? You. And you is another blue. This time, this is a new sentence pattern because we have one blue, I, two blue, you, and the third blue, not to eat the jam. Blue, red, blue, and blue. Which sentence pattern is it? Very nice. It's a pattern number 4. That's all for today. See you next week. Goodbye.